Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a moment that the very song you're singing, the words you're repeating in your heart and in your worship, might have been written by someone you'd least expect. A song, a message, a melody, crafted not by divine inspiration, but by cunning design. A tune that, if you're not careful, could be leading you away from the truth you claim to hold dear. This is not a speculative idea. It's a stark reality. The enemy of our souls specializes in deception. He's been doing it since the beginning, twisting truth into lies, turning light into darkness. And here's the shocking truth: sometimes the devil writes the song, and Christians are singing it in church. Why should you stay with me on this journey? Because what you hear and believe, what you sing and repeat, has the power to shape your destiny. And I'm here to awaken a divine discernment within you, to remind you that the spiritual battle is real, and it's happening right now, in the quiet corners of our hearts, and in the vibrant echo chambers of social media and popular culture. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever stopped to wonder how the enemy works? How he sneaks into our lives, not with grand explosions, but with subtle whispers disguised as truth? Think about it. How many times have you accepted an idea or a belief without questioning where it truly came from? Sometimes, what sounds like wisdom, what feels familiar or comforting, is actually a carefully crafted lie, dressed up to look like something you can trust. That's deception in disguise, and it's more dangerous than you might realize. You see, the enemy is a master of illusion. He knows that if he can get you to accept a lie as truth, he can shape your perceptions, influence your behaviors, and ultimately control your destiny, often even within the very communities of faith where you seek refuge and strength. It's almost like a game of spiritual chess, each move designed to weaken your resilience, diminish your faith, and chip away at your sense of self-worth. And here's the kicker: most of us don't see it coming because the deception is so subtle, so cleverly woven into the fabric of everyday life that it feels natural, even normal. But what if I told you that the enemy's greatest weapon isn't just outright evil? It's the ability to make you believe that what's false is actually true. Think about the narratives you've absorbed from the world around you. Messages about success, worth, happiness, and even your spiritual identity. Many of these are crafted to lure you into a false sense of security, convincing you that you don't need faith, resilience, or divine healing. And yet, deep down, you know something's off. You feel the tension, the unrest, the nagging feeling that something isn't right. That's the battleground. It's in your mind, in your heart, in the very core of who you are. The enemy's deception aims to distort your view of reality, twisting it just enough to make you question your purpose, your worth, your divine calling. But here's the truth: once you recognize the game, you gain the power to fight back with resilience, to stand firm in your faith, to reclaim your identity, and to push through the illusions that threaten to keep you bound. Because the battle for your mind is the battle for your life. And your victory begins with awareness. Awareness that even in the darkest moments, the enemy's lies are not the final word. Have you ever wondered how some people seem to navigate life with unwavering resilience, unshaken by the storms around them? What is it that keeps them grounded, even when everything around them feels like it's falling apart? The answer lies in one of the most powerful gifts God gives us: spiritual awareness. But here's the truth: recognizing spiritual deception isn't something we're born knowing. It's a skill we develop through intentional discernment. Without it, we become easy targets for destructive ideas that subtly creep into our minds and hearts, convincing us to accept lies as truth. And once accepted, those lies have the power to derail our purpose, distort our faith, and diminish our sense of self-worth. Think about it. How often do we encounter messages that seem harmless at first? A catchy phrase, a trending idea, a seemingly innocent belief. But beneath the surface, there's a hidden agenda. An agenda designed to distort your perception of reality, to weaken your spiritual resilience, and to chip away at your confidence. If we aren't vigilant, if we aren't actively cultivating our spiritual discernment, we risk falling into the trap of embracing ideas that are contrary to God's word. Ideas that can influence our success mindset, hinder our healing process, and steal our divine identity. The world is full of noise, and in that chaos, the enemy waits patiently, ready to plant seeds of deception that can grow unnoticed. But here's the truth that can set you free: awareness is your greatest weapon. When you learn to tune in to the Spirit's voice, when you develop a heightened sensitivity to what aligns with God's truth, you begin to see through the illusions. You become equipped with wisdom. Wisdom that guards your heart, strengthens your faith, and empowers you to stand resilient against every lie. Because the battle for your mind isn't just about awareness, it's about choosing to live with an unwavering confidence in the truth that sets you free. Truth that fuels your journey of success, healing, and divine purpose. Have you ever paused to ask yourself, what is truly fighting for your heart? What influences you daily? The messages you accept, the beliefs you hold, the priorities you set. It might surprise you to realize that every single day, a silent battle rages within you. It's a war for your mind and your heart, and the stakes could not be higher. Because what you consume, whether it's words, images, or ideas, begins to shape your perception of reality. What you believe over time becomes your truth, and that truth determines your destiny. Think about the moments when your confidence waned, when doubts crept in, or when you felt overwhelmed by life's challenges. Have you ever wondered what's really at play behind those feelings? It's the unseen fight, an ongoing spiritual warfare, where the enemy seeks to sway your thoughts and priorities away from God's purpose for your life. He whispers lies that diminish your self-worth, distort your success mindset, and hinder your healing. But here's the powerful truth. You hold the key to winning this war. Your resilience, your faith, your unwavering belief in divine truth can turn the tide. Every choice you make, what you watch, what you listen to, who you surround yourself with, either fortifies your spirit or leaves you vulnerable to deception. The enemy knows that if he can influence your heart, he can influence your destiny. That's why developing spiritual discernment is so vital. When you become aware of the tactics used to distract and divide you, you gain the power to set boundaries, to prioritize what aligns with God's word, and to nurture a mindset rooted in divine truth. Because the battle for your heart is not just about avoiding negativity. It's about actively choosing faith over fear, healing over hurt, purpose over distraction. And when you realize that your heart's victory begins with your conscious choices, you unlock the resilience needed to walk boldly into your divine destiny. Have you ever wondered what true worship really looks like? Is it simply singing a song, reciting a prayer, or attending a service? Or is there something deeper, more authentic, that transforms your heart and renews your spirit? Many of us have been caught in the trap of going through the motions, performing rituals out of habit rather than genuine surrender. But real faith isn't about hollow routines. It's about connecting with God on a heartfelt level, an inner surrender that reflects your true love, trust, and devotion. It's about standing against the subtle infiltration of worldly values that threaten to dilute your spiritual authenticity. Think about the times when your heart feels distant, when your prayers feel superficial, or when your worship lacks that fire of genuine connection. Have you ever paused to ask why? Because beneath those moments might lie the quiet influence of distraction. A world that constantly pulls us away from authentic faith. It's easy to fall into the trap of doing what looks right, but inside, feeling disconnected or empty. True worship demands more than just going through the motions. It requires a conscious choice to stand firm, to prioritize your relationship with God over fleeting worldly pleasures, and to cultivate resilience in your faith journey. When you develop that authentic connection, you begin to see worship not as a duty, but as a powerful act of surrender, an opportunity to align your heart with divine purpose. It's in those moments of genuine worship that healing begins, your self-worth is reaffirmed, and your success mindset is reset. Authentic worship fuels resilience, empowering you to face life's challenges with unwavering faith. It's about creating a sacred space where your spirit is renewed and your soul is strengthened against the subtle influences that seek to sway you away from God's truth. When your worship flows from the heart, you unlock a divine power, one that sustains you through every trial and guides you toward your ultimate destiny. Have you ever wondered what truly keeps you standing when life relentlessly pushes you to your breaking point? In a world overflowing with endless distractions and deceptive promises, what is the one thing that can anchor your soul and keep your spirit resilient? It's not just willpower or fleeting motivation. It's a deep, unshakable resilience rooted in divine purpose. When your life is aligned with a higher calling, every challenge becomes an opportunity for growth. Every setback a stepping stone toward your destiny. But how do you cultivate that kind of resilience in a climate designed to distract and discourage? The secret lies in understanding that resilience isn't just about enduring. It's about purposefully standing firm in your faith, knowing who you are in God's eyes and why you're here. Think about the moments when doubt creeps in, when negative voices threaten to drown out your inner voice of conviction. It's in those moments that your resilience is tested. The moments when circumstances seem overwhelming and the world's noise tries to drown out the divine whisper guiding your heart. When you anchor yourself in divine purpose, you discover a wellspring of strength that no external storm can deplete. That resilience isn't built overnight. It's forged through a daily commitment to your faith, your self-worth, and your divine mission. It's about pressing forward with a success mindset, knowing that even in the face of adversity, your purpose is greater than any obstacle. Every step taken in alignment with divine purpose fortifies your spirit and fuels your healing journey. It reminds you that you were created for more than just surviving. You were designed for thriving, standing tall, resilient and unwavering, because you know your life has a divine blueprint. When your resilience stems from a deep connection to your purpose, you become unstoppable, empowered to face whatever challenges come your way, confident that your faith will carry you through. And as you walk this path of divine purpose, you're not just enduring. You're becoming everything you're meant to be. Have you ever wondered what separates those who remain stagnant from those who experience true transformation? Why is it that some people seem to rise above life's chaos, emerging stronger and more victorious, while others are pulled under by the weight of daily struggles? The answer lies in a simple yet powerful principle: active vigilance. Personal growth and spiritual victory aren't achieved by chance. They require a deliberate, disciplined approach rooted in unwavering commitment to God's truth. It's about waking up every day with a conscious choice to guard your heart, mind, and soul against the subtle distractions that threaten to derail your purpose. Think about the moments when temptation whispers, when distractions threaten to pull you away from your divine calling. It's in those moments that vigilance becomes your greatest weapon, a shield forged through intentional choices and steadfast discipline. The journey of transformation demands more than passive hope. It calls for a proactive stance, an active pursuit of spiritual excellence. When you choose to stay alert, to scrutinize your thoughts, and to align your actions with God's Word, you create a foundation for sustainable growth. Every disciplined choice becomes a brick in the fortress of your resilience, reinforcing your self-worth and success mindset, while also paving the way for healing from past wounds. Transformation isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous process of refining, of shedding what no longer serves your divine purpose. And that process requires unwavering commitment. A daily, conscious decision to pursue righteousness, to stand firm in faith, and to push past comfort zones into divine breakthroughs. When your heart is vigilant, you open the door for divine intervention, for breakthroughs that elevate you beyond temporary victories. Your resilience is strengthened, your spirit is renewed, and your journey towards spiritual victory becomes unstoppable. As you stay alert and disciplined, you're not just surviving, you're actively stepping into the fullness of who you're created to be.